Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Bobby. You know, I never know for sure where the inspiration is going to come from for one of these video lessons. I often arrive at the weekend having no idea what I'm going to do, but plan to shoot something on Saturday or Sunday with the hope of getting it out by Monday morning. And I happen to be having dinner at our beautiful clubhouse restaurant, which, by the way, if you haven't been here, it's fantastic. As you know, the service is great, the food is wonderful, and the views are stunning. But I ran into a member whom I like very much and from whom questions are always welcome, as they're welcome from you as well. And that question was this: Bobby, I saw you giving a golf lesson, and the young man with whom you're working was bending his left arm quite severely. And I noticed it, and so did someone else who was standing there with me. You didn't address that at all. And I'm just wondering what it is, why you didn't talk to him about his bent left arm. And I think that's a great question. And really, it's sort of two questions. Number one, what's the deal with the straight left arm? But number two, just as importantly, what then do you give priority if not the straight left arm? And I'd like to address both of those. As it relates to priority, let me take a side street for just a moment and let you know that there are some swing ailments that take longer to fix than others. For instance, if someone has a bad grip, and no matter how long they've been doing it, if they'll actually let me put their hands on there where it needs to be, inside about 50 swings, they'll start feeling comfortable. They'll go, you know what, I didn't like it at first, but it's starting to feel pretty good. I'm starting to feel what that grip's doing for me. A backswing sequencing takes a little longer. Maybe 200 swings, because there are just a few more moving parts than just the grip. All right, and so maybe a couple hundred swings. When we're talking about the worst of all swing maladies, the one that takes the longest to fix if it's gone untreated for a while, is undoubtedly, and I've known this for 15 or 20 years, the reverse spine tilt. When someone is in this position at the top of the backswing, and they say, hey, I've got a tournament this coming Saturday, we got to get it straight. I'll say, hey, forget that, man. Let's go work on your chipping and putting. That's a 2,000 swing fix. And that's if they stick with it. That's a difficult one. So let's put that aside for a moment. Let's say I'm giving a golf lesson to a beginner. And typically I start with grip, posture, alignment, some semblance of a backswing, some semblance of a follow-through. But I notice early on that for whatever reason, that student seems naturally inclined to get in this position, that reverse spine tilt position. Now, he's a new beginner. He's a new golfer. I have to, at this moment, abandon everything that I had planned for this golf lesson, everything that I do normally with a beginner, and address what seems to be the early makings of a reverse spine tilt, because I can't just kick that down the road. Because 2 years from now, that's going to be virtually untreatable, and he'll be doomed to a life of bad golf if I let that go. I have to forget everything else and give that thing that will become stage 4 eventually total priority to get that fixed. And so the gist of what I'm saying here is I like to follow along general lines of your grip, your posture, the basics for almost each and every person, but it is not inflexible. Now, about the straight left arm, it's true. I will never tell a beginner to straighten his left arm or her left arm. And I'll tell you why. A straight arm is extended. This is flexed. This is extended. In the golf swing, the right arm is flexed. When you attempt, and when both of these are new, remember, this is new, they haven't played golf before. This is new, they haven't played golf before. When you attempt to assign someone with both extension and flexion in the same movement, when neither one of them are familiar movement patterns, the brain gets completely locked up, and there's sort of mental and muscular chaos that they can't overcome, and suddenly the whole body becomes uncoordinated as a result of that. Now, if you want two arms that can totally extend, you can do that. Two arms that both flex, that's fine too. But one arm extended, one arm flexed, freaks them out. And I've just been through this too many times to know. Now, what I do is I just get this one. Hey, give me some flexion here. Get this in the waiter's tray position over here. And the left arm will tend to be a little longer. It might not be totally straight, but they'll sort of get the concept. And 3 or 4 weeks or a month later, then we can start talking about straightening that arm. It's not too late at that point, all right? But if I introduce them both at the same time, they can't do anything. Now, when I say that, a person might go, man, Bobby, you just made that up. What are you talking about? Well, let me prove it to you. Take off your shoe. Wherever you are right now, take off your shoe. I'm going to show you what flexion and extension in the same movement will do to your brain. I'm going to ask that you extend your ankle, that is, point your foot, but yet pull back your toes so that you have ankle extension but toe flexion. Can you do that? I'm guessing you cannot. You can point your toes and point your ankle, or flex your toes and flex your ankle, but you can't extend your ankle and flex your toes. Now, the only reason I can do it is I've been doing it for years and years and years, but the average person can't. And I want you to notice the uncomfortable feeling that you have when you attempt that. It's difficult to do. Well, that uncomfortable feeling, that uncoordinated feeling you had just attempting that is exactly how the beginner feels when I demand that they straighten their left arm while at the same time flex their right arm. All right, and so that's today's lesson. Yes, some things get priority over others. I'll never tell a beginner to straighten their left arm. I hope that helps. I hope that answers that question. And I welcome questions from you always. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.